I remember the look on the defense attorney's face when I got her doctor-client to admit that he altered the patient's records. You want to learn what this is about? Come join me as I share with you this remarkable story. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. I was asked to do a deposition, which is pre-trial question and answer session for another attorney. And as part of the preparation, I had to review all the records. So now I'm looking through the records, and the claim was that the doctor did not tell the patient to go ahead and get a consult with an oncologist to evaluate what possible treatment was available after being diagnosed with cancer. And I'm reading the records, and I can't figure out where the claim is. I can't figure out what the doctor did wrong. So now I go into the question and answer session, which is held in the attorney's office, and I ask to see the doctor's original records. And the attorney gives me the doctor's original records, and I'm going through it page by page before we actually start. And all of a sudden I see something that triggers a red warning sign in my mind. In preparation for this question and answer session, I was reviewing all of the records in the attorney's file. And it turns out that the doctor had sent to the patient by fax all of his records within a few days after the patient was last seen. So now I'm comparing the two in my own mind because I had reviewed it the night before, and warning signs are going off in my mind. These records are totally different. So now what I did after I saw those records, I calmly put away the doctor's original records, handed it back to the attorney, and now I began questioning the doctor. And the doctor didn't know what I knew. If he did, he never would have given me those answers. So what did I do? I locked the doctor into his testimony. Doctor, are these the only records you brought with you? You have no other records for this patient? These are the only records that you made for this patient at that time? And when you saw the patient, you would make your records at that time, correct? In fact, you're the only one who wrote those records. You made notes in the patient's chart. Isn't that correct? Yes. Nobody else did it? No. Not even your nurse, correct? Right. And you made them at the time or immediately after the patient left the office. Isn't that true? Yes. Then I had him go through each and every note that he had brought with him. Now, once I did that, and now I established what the standards of care were for this particular case, then I went ahead and opened up my folder. And I said, Doctor, I'd like you to take a look at this particular page. And he looks at it, and I said, what is that? He said, oh, it's a fax copy of records. From where? Oh, from my office. And doctor, I see on the cover page you sent it in your handwriting. Isn't that true? Yes. And look at the date. It's only a few days after the patient was last seen in the office. True? Yes. And now I'm getting the doctor to go through that particular note. I said, Doctor, take out your note for that visit, please. And he takes out his note, what he claims is his original note. He looks at the fax copy, and I said, Doctor, can you explain to me how there are two different sets of notes in your handwriting for the same exact visit? He says, no, I can't. I said to him, Doctor, where's the original for the fax set of copies of records that we have in our chart? He looked at me. He said, I don't know. And that was just the beginning. You should have seen the look on his attorney's face. It was a look of the deer in the headlights look. Her mouth dropped. She's like, that kind of look, because she recognized that this doctor was now in deep trouble and that he had clearly altered this patient's records and was coming in here testifying that this was the only set of records. So here, what I thought was absolutely no case turned out to be an incredible case. Why? Because the doctor did something stupid. He altered the patient's records, which not only is a violation from the basic standards of good medical care, but also a violation from the New York State Department of Health and who knows how many other countless rules and regulations. So why do I share this quick story with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into one of the cases that I handled many years ago involving a doctor who altered his records, and I got him to admit it during his pretrial testimony. You know, I realize you're watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter happened here in New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.